Zach here, full-time reseller, and I'm getting ready to jam out of town for possibly a day trip or maybe even an overnighter. Gonna have some fun, get some good food, and hopefully find some stuff to resell online for profit. So follow along and see how I do it. Goodwill in Colorado Springs. Gonna race around and check it out. It's pretty big. It's about to close though, so I'm gonna see if I can't find anything. Not finding a whole lot in here, but today was Black Friday. That's probably why. It's a big store though. All right, so I'm outside of this Goodwill in the southern part of Colorado Springs. It's been a busy day here because it was Black Friday, and so this was a great store, but there just wasn't much here. I'm sure most of it got picked over today with it being the busiest shopping day of the year, but one of the assistant managers was kind enough to give me some advice, gave me some go-to Goodwills in the area, told me the ones to hit, and then gave me some advice on the ones to avoid. So I'm super grateful for that. I'm gonna hit it hard in the morning. Until then, I'm gonna go settle into my motel room, get some food, and just relax and get some rest. All right, so it's the next morning. Gotta start with a little exercise to burn off the stress and some of the sleep in my eyes. All right, so it's about 6 in the morning. I've got my morning workout in, grabbed the free breakfast here at the hotel, and now I'm gonna go up and shower, finish editing up a YouTube short, and then probably be on my way. Plan of attack today is to go to the very north part of Colorado Springs, actually to a town called Monument, and that is a very well-known thrift store for resellers. I'm gonna go up and hit that and then start working my way down back into Colorado Springs. And the true north end of Colorado Springs does have quite a few ARC thrift stores as well as Goodwills. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit all of those today as best I can and as hard as I can, and hopefully I'll have a bunch to bring home. So I'm all showered up, I'm getting ready to bail out of here, and I did stay at the La Quinta off of Cheyenne Mountain Road, which was not too bad in regards to price. And the stay was pretty decent, and it was in a good location in the southern part of Colorado Springs for me to just post up as I got in kind of late last night. And I'm not super familiar with Colorado Springs, but I did do a little bit of research last night, and I've got a good game plan. As I said, I'm going to be hitting a good loop of thrift stores today. And you may be wondering why it is that I'm doing this all the way up in Colorado Springs when I live in northern New Mexico. Colorado Springs is kind of a mecca for thrifting, and it really has a good amount of GORP or outdoor apparel in a lot of the stores, and that's something I specialize in. So I've always wanted to come up here. I only live about 6 hours away. Will this trip be profitable? It's hard to say, but at least in the meantime, we'll get some away time, some beautiful mountains, and some scenic views and beautiful air, and hopefully I'll find something to resell for profit. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out and get on the road. The proverbial famous Goodwill in Monument, Colorado. This guy gets a lot of raves and good reviews from resellers that travel into Colorado Springs area to source goods to resell. We'll see what it's gonna be about. This may have not been the best weekend to come up and source goods in Colorado Springs, considering yesterday was Black Friday, the biggest shopping day of the year, and I was off the Goodwill off a Circle in South Colorado Springs yesterday, and it was pretty picked over. So regardless of how good I do today, it'll be kind of a good scouting trip for me to get a loop of thrift stores and to better familiarize myself with the area. So one thing that's important is doing your research, not only about the goods you're going to buy to resell, but also about the places you're going to buy them at. Alright, so everybody raves there's good stuff in the boutique section of the store. We're gonna check it out. Alright, since I've been thrifting in Colorado, I'm always impressed by the quality of the goods I find. The shoes are just cleaner, nicer, and a better selection to choose from. And look these bad boys over. They're a little on the dirty side, but they're not terrible. They are big. They are a great brand. And they're definitely priced up, but I think I can get my money back out of them, so I'll probably grab these. And boom, just like that, another pair of clouds. On cloud, I should say, or on. These are white. They'll still sell, so I have to clean them. Even if they're dirty, they'll still sell. And then a third pair of on clouds, so all no-brainers. Super impressed with this store, but I definitely can tell that it was Black Friday yesterday. A lot of the good clothes seem to be gone, despite the inventory being pretty large. But super happy to score 3 pretty decent pair of on clouds. Definitely gonna have to pay the cost for them, but these sell quick.
It's $44.
So, yeah, yeah, there's that. 15 minutes south from where I was just at in Monument, Colorado. I am now in North Colorado Springs, and this is the Goodwill off of Kelly Johnson Boulevard. This was a Goodwill that was recommended to me last night by the assistant manager of the Goodwill off of Circle Street in South Colorado Springs. So I'm gonna race in here. I'm trying to keep it to 30 minutes for each thrift store, and I'm actually setting a timer. I'm kind of anal about my efficiency, and especially with limited time and wanting to definitely hit a lot of stores today, I gotta watch it because you can sometimes just get lost in some of these clothing racks. And so that's another strategy I use, is to always be on top of my time to try to stay efficient. And that's just something I used and carried over from my past life and my medical career. And so I'm gonna race in here and see what I can find. Kind of excited. Let's see what this guy has. Similar story as to the last store, a little bit picked over probably because of the holiday. I'm gonna move quick, go check out the shoes and some of the hard goods, and then move on to another store. I must say I'm impressed with the first several stores. They're incredibly clean, they're packed with hard goods, packed with clothing, and just trying to find something worth the grab. No great finds in there. The store kind of looked picked over like the last one, but super impressed with the layout. Lots of clothes, very clean, lots of merchandise. And some of my lack of success this morning could be I'm just not staying as long as I normally stay. And so that's all right. Trying to hit as many as I can today. I'm gonna go down the road and hit an ARC thrift store and then get back on the Goodwill gravy train. So I'm at the ARC thrift store that's right off Academy, and this one's pretty popular. My ARC thrift store back home is pretty junky and doesn't have a lot of good stuff in it, but this one gets pretty good rave reviews, and I've actually seen some people pick it on YouTube, so wish me luck. Right out the gate, I found a nice puffer, but it's a little stained up. And upon further inspection, it's got a little split in it. So I'm gonna have to pass on this guy, which is a shame. Found this vintage Alf zip-up fleece jacket, and I have sold this in a different colorway. And Alf was the precursor to the company Cool. And then I got a North Face puffer vest. It's way priced up, and it's a little dirty. So I'm not certain I'm gonna grab this guy. It's way pricey. It's got a huge stain on it, so I might skip on the puffer. The ARC thrift store was super packed. There was a lot of clothes in there, but prices were kind of all across the board. And I thought I was gonna have to pay $12 for this Alf fleece zip up, but I ended up paying $7. There must have been some kind of special going on. Nonetheless, I'm gonna race down the road, get back on the Goodwill thrift chain, and see what I can find. It's the third Goodwill of the day and fourth thrift store for me. This is the Goodwill off Austin Bluffs Parkway. So hopefully I can do a little better inside of here and see what we can find. Not finding much at this Goodwill. Just glance in the shoe aisle. I think I'm gonna cut my losses and race on to the next store. Complete strikeout in that Goodwill. And what I noticed is there was a guy that was a reseller that I seen at several other stores this morning, picking through jackets, and I imagine the competition has just got out and about and are staking their claims. So I'm gonna race off to another Goodwill that's not too far from here, and I think it's the last Goodwill that was recommended to me by the assistant manager of the Goodwill store I was at last night off Circle Street in Colorado Springs. So hopefully we'll find a little bit more stuff. A little disappointed, but I also accept that, again, I'm shopping the day after the busiest shopping day of the year, and there is a lot more competition up here. I kind of feel like a small fish in a big pond, but nonetheless gonna race off and get after it. I just pulled up to the Goodwill on the far east side of Colorado Springs. This is the one off Wayanoka Place, and it looks to be a pretty big store, pretty nice, and rather large. So hopefully I do better at this store because I haven't done too great today. But thrifting on a Saturday has its downfalls, and once again, thrifting the day after the busiest shopping day of the year probably wasn't the smartest bet, but nonetheless, gonna stay positive, set those intentions, and I'll find something good. Alright, so here's an old wore out Arc'teryx hiking shirt. It's short sleeve. If it's clean, I'll grab it. It's my favorite brand for outdoor apparel. All right, so I did score this Burn Duck Canvas Sherpa Line Kids work coat. I've sold one just like it before. I could probably get about 35, 40 bucks for it. It is priced up at $8.99 though. Finished up inside of that Goodwill, spent about 20 minutes, only bought the two items, the jacket and the Arc'teryx shirt, but the Arc'teryx shirt was definitely a score, and I'm grateful I know that label and know to look for it through its obscurity. But I'm gonna race across back to the western side of Colorado Springs and try to hit maybe a couple more Goodwills, and then probably start pilgriming home. Not sure if I'll stay out another night, maybe in another mountain town, or if I just will push all the way back home. So I'm at the Arc off of Colorado Avenue. I went to a couple Goodwills that were closed down. See what we can't come up with. This one's probably packed like the last one. This Marmot men's vest, it's XL. It's fairly clean. It's only $4 or $4.50. Everything's half off today, so I think I'm gonna scoop it up. I'm gonna grab these Under Armour Scent Control pants. They're a decent size and good shape, and they're only $7.50. So a couple decent grabs at this Arc thrift store. Gonna try to find something to eat real quick and start making my way south. Still on the fence if I'm gonna stay another night. Not sure if I want to thrift through the rest of the day and into the evening and just stay somewhere and go home in the morning, or if I'm gonna go ahead and try to take on the mountains tonight. Probably need to eat something and then think it through, but all in all, fairly consistent with finding at least a few items at each store, which probably isn't a bad thing considering yesterday was again Black Friday and today is Saturday, which puts a lot of pressure on these thrift stores with the people that come out and thrift on the weekends. But appreciate you watching. Hopefully you're finding this entertaining, and if you would, please reach out there and hit that like button. Lets me know I'm doing somewhat of a good job, and make a comment if you see me walk past something or totally miss something. Please let me know. I love to learn more about reselling. I'm in this game to learn too, so I appreciate it, and thanks for watching again. So I have fast forward. It is the next day. I decided after eating lunch yesterday to go ahead and cut my losses and just come home. Some of my thinking and rationale was, as mentioned in the video 20 times earlier, that most of the stores were heavily picked over because of the holiday, and it was also Saturday, and that just meant there was a lot more competition out yesterday. But the trip itself was a success in the fact that I was able to plot out a really great route of a bunch of different thrift stores that were really high quality. And I do plan on going back to the Colorado Springs area in the future, as it is a mecca for resellers to source goods, especially clothing. And I'm just excited about what I can share with you. I still was able to purchase some really great items, and there was no real bangers, no real huge finds, but everything I bought yesterday was of good brand. Generally a brand I've probably bought and sold in the past, so I've got confidence I can move these items. So I'm gonna jump off this stool real quick and share with these items each individually with you and show you what I came up with. Kick it off with this Marmot vest. I picked this up at one of the Arc thrift stores. I think it was one that's real popular up there, and I believe it was also the same store that was on several YouTube videos that I watched the night before. But it was half off on like 2/3 of the store that day, so I was able to pick this up. It was $8.99, but it was half off, so I paid $4.50. And these don't sell for a ton, but the sell-through rate wasn't bad on it. I like Marmot as a brand. I like their outerwear. I think it does better than some of their other items. But for $4.50, I'm thinking I might be able to sell it for anywhere between 25 to 35 bucks. It does have a small bit of outside embroidery on the bottom left area, but I don't think that should take from the value of it too much. I sell outdoor vests all the time with outside companies' embroidery, and it doesn't really devalue it that much. People really just want to see that brand name on the item, and things like Patagonia, North Face, and even Marmot are kind of in that category. So gonna jump down here. I found this at a Goodwill in Colorado Springs that I didn't find a whole lot else at. I did find the boys jacket there, but this guy here I only paid like $5.99 for. And again, knowing your brands can really help, especially some brands that are really great have really obscure tags, and Arc'teryx can be that way. And so there's been a lot of times when I've been in a busy thrift store and I come across Arc'teryx, and there's other clothing resellers that have just looked it over and passed on it. So I probably could sell this guy for somewhere between 25 to 35 bucks. I like Arc'teryx. This might fit me, but I'm going to go ahead and turn it and sell it because this trip I didn't get as many items. Nonetheless, Arc'teryx has an extremely great high sell-through rate. It's just a brand that I always love coming back to. I wish I could find it more, but when I do, it's always exciting. So this is probably one of the bigger finds of the trip. I love flip and gorp or adventure apparel. And so this is definitely on the top of that list. Now I'm going to move over. This is also kind of cool. This is one of the few vintage finds I really had, or if only the only vintage find. This is an Alf zip up fleece. And this company is the precursor to the company Cool. If you're familiar with Cool, they make adventure apparel. They make really great hiking pants, outerwear, performance wear, you name it. They're a great company, but Alf is the company that came before them, I believe, if I'm saying that right. And I'm probably murdering how you actually pronounce it. But nonetheless, look for this tag. I have sold this fleece in a different colorway. And what's cool about it is it has this Nordic belt around the collar. I put that in the keyword, Nordic. It just kind of helps sell it. And I think this was half off, so I ended up only paying $7. I also bought this at a ARC thrift store. Now, this Oakley hat here, I did pay $5 for it. I think I found it at one of the stores I was leaving. I didn't find anything else, and I seen it as I was walking out. For $5, I can usually turn an Oakley hat for 20 to 24 bucks, but I might keep it. It's a cool color. I like Oakley's outerwear line, including the hats, but I can sell it if I want to. Oakley does sell for me if it's jackets and hats. So this is a kid's burn work utility canvas jacket with Sherpa lining. Did pay $9.99 for it, but I've sold this jacket before. I think I've sold 2 already this year, and I believe I've sold both of them for right around $30 to $40. Not a huge find, but a consistent, solid condition of the coat. And this time of year, jackets are selling like hotcakes for me, so I just couldn't pass on it. It's a bread and butter. And with that, I found something I hadn't found before. Don't buy a whole lot of Under Armour, but I do understand that their camo sells well. I checked the sell-through rate on these scent blocking camouflage pants. Pretty darn good. Couldn't pass on them. I did pay up on them. I think they were like $12.99. Bought these at a ARC thrift store. Should be able to sell them for right around $38 to $48. Probably just depends on how long I want to wait for it. But the size was good and the condition was there. So I'm going to slide over here. This is just a Tyndale FR crew neck shirt. I found this the very first night I got to Colorado Springs. I did pay $5 for it. I sell these for right around $18 to $22. This one was very clean and it was a bigger size, so I probably should be able to get maybe 20 plus for it. FR clothing sells very quickly for me. It's something I find in my own area. And so as I've said in other videos and other resellers will say, try to find things that are prevalent in your area. If you got a lot of golf courses, be looking for high-end golf polo shirts and pants. If there's a lot of industry or maybe oil field, look for flame resistant items. And that thinking has really helped my business. It's helped me to gear my sourcing towards items that are just more prevalent in the area. And then I have better sales and I find more stuff. So this here is just a Volcom. It's just a pullover. I have a couple of these in different colors. I love Volcom. I don't think that their clothing sells that well, but their snowboarding pants and their jackets do sell well. I picked this up for myself. It's only $5. One benefit of being a reseller is that you do find a lot of nice clothing for yourself. I seldom splurge, but once in a while, if you watch these videos, you'll see that I'll pick myself up something. And the very last thing I'm going to share with you here, or second to last, is these 3 pair of On running shoes. These are all three were in great condition, so I couldn't pass on them. But ironically, I found these at the very first thrift store in Monument, as you've seen in the video. And to find 3 pair of On running shoes is just crazy. It was the benefit of being there early. And that's a very famous thrift store. It has a lot of people that came in there that were clothing resellers. I could just tell by how they were operating. And so to grab these first thing in the morning felt like a huge score. I did pay right around $43 or $44 for the 3, but these are a brand, an item that I know I can turn quickly. I will clean them up a little, but all 3 were in decent shape and had good tread quality and tread life still on them. And so I can usually get somewhere between $40 to $70 on cloud running shoes or On running shoes. And it's hard to say what I'll get out of these. I've sold 2 of the 3 pair before. The middle pair is a size 12, and I think it's a newer style, so I might be able to get a little bit more than that. But On is just a go-to. It's bread and butter. It and Hoka are running shoes that I will pay up for, and so I was super excited to find those. I wish the rest of the day would have been as successful as that first stop in finding these 3, but that's sourcing, that's picking, it's up, it's down, and you got to be paying attention to what time of year it is and what days you're going. And so this last pair of jeans is just some Mavi jeans. They were a decent colorway. They were $10, so I definitely paid up. There's not a whole lot of money to be made in these, but again, kind of a bread and butter brand. I found these at one of the Goodwills. I was towards the end of my shopping and decided to grab them. I'm not sure if I shot footage on them, but all in all, this is my haul. It was definitely a little meager. I wish I would have done better, but I just, again, chose a poor day to go. And if anything, it was still a success in the sense that I got to do a little bit of scouting of the area, and I will be back in the future. So as always, if you like these videos, please chime in, make a comment, please like them. It lets me know I'm doing somewhat of a good job. I'm just kind of doing this on the fly, as I love to share my reselling adventures and learn. And I also love to share and teach and hopefully help somebody out there, because videos like these help me. So as always, I'm out. Appreciate the support. Thank you. I'll see you next time.